Welcome, everyone. This is Tracy Una Wagner with Versatile Inspirations and a Lightworkers and Earth Angels Academy and Study Hall. And this is your weekly energy foresight for October 31st through November 6th. Happy Halloween, a blessed Samhain, and blessings for Day of the Dead. For October, we've been working with Supernatural Join the Hunt Tarot Deck, and that is by Minerva Siegel, and the artwork is by Matthew Skiff. And this week, for the reading for October 31st, Monday, through November 6th, Sunday, the card that came through is Five of Bones, or the Five of Wands. And the message from the Five of Bones, or the Five of Wands, is clashes of ego happen. We live in a material world and want what we want when we want it. And sometimes that conflicts with someone else's wants and needs. Be mindful of when to stand your ground and when it's time to wave the white flag. Be open and honest about the situation. Maybe even share your perspective. This will go a long way, to the very least, calling a truce. And you might even be able to see each other's point of view and work out a resolution that everyone involved can benefit. Take some time to be still and listen to your small inner voice of wisdom. It won't lead you wrong. So we have the Five of Wands, and I know we've been really working with those swords, but we have the wands to look forward to this week. And the good thing about this is that it really helps us to get in the mindset of moving past our egoic mind and showing respect for other people. We can be respectful and not have the same opinions. It's okay. If all of us had the same opinions, we wouldn't make any progress. So just be able to stay in that space of being able to be respectful of other people's decisions. Now, that being said, sometimes we need to stand our ground, because sometimes somebody else's things may go against our morals or ethics or what we deem right or wrong. So make sure to honor your wishes by allowing yourself to stand your ground when you need to. And in those other times when we need to wave the white flag and really let someone else be able to let their wants and needs be first and foremost on the list. Now, we're going to maybe feel a little stuck this week. And with all of the energies that are just swirling around like crazy, I'm sure you've probably felt it, especially if you're sensitive in any way. But right now, we're all a little sensitive and we can all feel these energies. And so this week, I went ahead and put together a crystal grid and activated it with 3 different affirmations. Now, I talked about some of the crystals. Now, the 2 of the crystals I didn't talk about are the clear quartz and the smoky quartz. These have very interesting personalities, and I thought would really work this week well for what the energies we're experiencing. So here is the little bit of the crystal grid that we are working with this week that I put together in honor of our ancestors, but also in honor of working through our ego and really kind of honing in on being respectful and being able to honor yourself and be respectful at the same time. So here is the crystal grid, and the 2 things that I didn't talk about in the video are clear quartz. And for clear quartz, the things that are unique about it is that it is one of the most versatile, multidimensional stones there is. Now, the three areas in which that it is strongest in is it amplifies energy, it is programmable, and it stores memory. So these were great aspects going into this crystal grid, especially working with those 5 points or the 5 elements as well. Now, the smoky quartz I put as a centerpiece, as a center stone. And the reason for that is it has some very unique qualities as well. It is very grounding. It transmutes negative energy or wonky energy. And it is one of the base stones for manifestations. So working with this grid in particular for those purposes. And I'm just going to read you the 3 affirmations that I chose to work with in this crystal grid are: I give thanks to all the ancestors who have gone before me. So you can take all 3 of these affirmations or just 1 or 2 of the affirmations, or you can even attach your own affirmation to the activation of this crystal grid if you stay to watch it and work with this crystal grid for the week. It's going to stay there for the rest of the week, and I'll probably even change it out next Monday. So that one was, I give thanks to all the ancestors who've come before me, who've gone before me. Now, the second and the third affirmations really hone in on the aspect of what we're going through this week with the ego and working with the idea of respecting others. So it says, I am just a small piece of the larger puzzle. And I say them 3 times. And the third one is, I am respectful and I learn something new every day. So those are just 3 affirmations that I worked with for this to kind of work through that idea that I'm always right and that I have to have my way or things just aren't going to move forward. And this week feels like it's going to be a little topsy-turvy in that way, that we may feel like we're a little bit more stuck. And so I know we've been working with that whole stuck energy feeling thing going on, but this week in particular may feel it a little bit more. So just breathe. And if you'd like, you can work with me with this grid. I felt those energies of this grid so calming yet powerful when I was putting it together. And like I say in there, the other crystals that I work with are apophyllite, black tourmaline, and selenite to activate everything. So those are the 3 stones that I discuss in the video. Enjoy if you'd like. All right, so for midweek and end week, I decided to go with Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. And for midweek, and midweek is October 31st through November 3rd, and that is Monday through Thursday. The card that came through is Mother Earth. And the message from Mother Earth is feel loved and comforted. That is what we all strive for, right? We all want to feel loved and we want to feel comfortable in our space and in our own skin. So when we acknowledge the fact that we're going to have days that don't necessarily go the way that we plan, and when we're able to respect other people's space in this world, it really goes far for not only ourself and our skin and our sphere, but also for all of Mother Earth. Because if we can do it, other people can do it. And we show other people respect and kindness, love, and the ability to feel comfortable in their own skin, just like we would, then it really goes far to allow other people to do the same for other people. So for midweek, feel into that love from Mother Earth. Feel into that idea of being loved and being comforted in a way that maybe no earthly being can do that for you. It can just come from the grounding and the oneness in working with Mother Earth, Mother Gaia. All right. So for end week, and end week is Thursday through Sunday, or November 3rd through November 6th. The card that came through is Mountains. And the message from Mountains is stand your ground. All right. So this card is letting us know we need to stand our ground. So maybe in the first part of the week, we really had to kind of wave the white flag. But in the second part of the week, we may need to stand our ground, really focusing in on our needs and what we need. In that way, it isn't about the egoic self. It is about what we may feel is really, truly right, what is really, truly for our highest and best good. And what you'll probably find is things move out of your way very easily when you are so grounded in the fact that what you're really needing to experience needs to happen. Standing your ground, being as that mountain, and really being firm in your foundation. When you are firm in your foundation, in what you believe to be solid truth, that is what gives way to everything else. You know for a fact that what you're thinking, feeling, and possibly wanting needs to happen, and everything will move out of your way in order for you to experience that, especially when you believe it so crystal clearly that you can see it, feel it, touch it, smell it, experience it just within your being. You'll feel it. You'll feel those intuitive hunches. You'll feel that movement forward, that this is what's supposed to happen. You'll feel it. You'll just know it. It won't come from being stubborn or just thinking it. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel that need. And it's probably going to be a very warm feeling, something that lights you up. And you just know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you need to stand your ground and you need to move forward. That doesn't mean that you need to be rude or disrespectful. That means you can still have the ability to be respectful of others and their opinions. This is your opinion, though, and you can respect your opinion as well. So just know the end of this week is probably when you're going to start feeling that action, that motivating feeling like we're pushing forward, we're moving forward, we're unstuck, and we're moving forward. Next, I'm going to show you the video of the crystal grid that will hopefully help you, especially in the first part of this week, it looks like.
So I wanted to use Halloween, Samhain, Day of the Dead to show my appreciation to our ancestors. And also with this week's reading, I really wanted to work on the idea of getting past our ego self. And so I just put this grid together very quickly in honor of Samhain. I just went ahead and went with the pentacle or the five-pointed star. And if you're leery about working with a pentacle or a five-pointed star, really, this is what it truly means. So the top point means spirit. This one means water. This is fire. This is earth. And this is air. So we're really working with the five elements. I really feel like the pentacle or the pentagram gets a bad rap for some reason, but I love working with those five elements. And I really feel like these times when the veil is thin, the pentagram and pentacle working with this 5-pointed star in that manner of the 5 elements really helps to not only ground you, but also to help open up your psychic abilities or your ability to speak with your ancestors. Really, you can speak to your ancestors all the time. It's when we doubt because we don't hear, we don't sense, we don't feel, is when things get a little muddied in our own thinking. They always can hear us, and they are always there for us to talk to. So this is just my way of honoring them and hopefully getting past the ego. Now, the crystals that I decided to use with this, in the center is smoky quartz, and I've got just clear quartz points pointing in all the directions. Now, the darker stones are black tourmaline, and I was going to use black obsidian, but some people find their energies a little too abrasive, a little too strong. And during this time when we're already sensitive, it may have been just a little much. So I went ahead and used the black tourmaline. And also on the outer parts, I just went and put a triangle here with apophyllite. I love apophyllite for really clearing out any cobwebs of speaking with spirit and just opening up for source. I'll go over the stones a little bit more in just a little bit, but those are the stones that I'm working with. Now, I'm also going to be using my selenite wand. It's a large piece, but I love using it. Let me turn off that light, because it really helps to activate. I just love activating it with selenite. Selenite is wonderful. Now, the grid itself is pointed in magnetic north, so that is actually kind of perfect for working with a pentacle, pentagram, working with the north nodes. So we're going to use the selenite, and if you'd like to work with this also with me, that's great. All you have to do is just come up with an affirmation on your own, or you can use one of mine. I'm going to go through 3 of them, and you can pick one of them or all of them, or add to those 3 and make one up on your own as well. Okay, so let's activate just the selenite itself, working with our own energy, taking some deep breaths. The first affirmation: I give thanks to the ancestors that have come before me. I give thanks to all the ancestors that have gone before me. I give thanks to all the ancestors who've gone before me. And for ego, I am just a small piece of the larger puzzle. I am just a small piece of the larger puzzle. I am just a smaller piece of the larger puzzle. And the last one, to get past ego and to really kind of hone in on what we're looking to accomplish this week. That goes with the reading. I am respectful and learn something new every day. I am respectful and I learn something new every day. I am respectful and I learn something new every day. So I'm just going to activate each of these crystals as we go around, and with the same affirmation. And like I said, feel free to add your own. All right, so for the crystals here, tilt that up so you can see them a little bit. All of this information came from the Book of Stones, and that is such a great book. It's wonderful. I've had it for so many years, but during Hibiscus Moon's certification course, it really played a huge role in the crystals that I was able to work with and wanted to work with. So apophyllite is good for clearing blocks, and remember, those are the three that equal the triangle on the outside. Clearing blocks in the crown chakra, connection to source, and being present. Also helping clear ego-based interpretations of events, which is great for this week. Also allows resonation with higher spiritual thought forms. So it's going to help you in so many different ways this week. Now the black tourmaline, which are the black stones there, it transmutes and purifies negative energy, and you can actually use that transformed energy in productive ways. It protects one's energy as you open to the spirit realms and own your psychic abilities, and just being able to really believe in the in your intuition, in your psychic abilities, even just hearing the messages from spirit. It's a great one to actually work with on that. It also, which is interesting, it grounds your energy during times of high level stress. So this week we were supposed to have some high level stress from dealing with other people and kind of feeling stuck again. So this is a great one to actually reverse that and to help us stay calm and grounded during that time. And the selenite that I worked with, it unlocks doorways to etheric chakras. So the etheric chakras are the higher chakras. Those are the chakras that are not necessarily inside your etheric body, but your auric fields as well. So your 7 original chakras, your new chakras, those minor chakras, all those minor chakras, and especially the transpersonal chakras. So those chakras that are outside of your auric field. It is good for opening, clearing, and activating to ground in your light body of each individual. And it helps in your evolution and your transformation journey. It also aids in opening the gateways to the higher levels of self, which is great because it's helping you to move past that idea of ego, that egoic mind. So this is a great one, selenite, to actually help activate those crystals in order to gain more insight into your higher levels, to keep you in that state, especially when you're working with people that may not be on the same level you are this week. There may be some egos clashing. And so when we are able to stay in that higher state of self, it's going to be a lot easier for us to get through this week because we're working with source energy. We're working with our higher self, and that is wonderful to work with. All right, so that is the grid that I put together for our ancestors, but also just to honor that idea of the thinning of the veil and allowing you to move past ego and self into higher states of being. Enjoy your week. Happy Samhain, happy Halloween, and a blessed Day of the Dead to all.
All right, you take care. Have a fabulous first part of November and honor this beautiful last day of October in whichever way that you do, maybe just by going through the crystal grid video at the end, or just by putting together your own altar, thanking your ancestors, dressing up, handing out treats, whatever way you would like to spend Samhain, Halloween, and Day of the Dead. I will see you again next week for the first full week of November. As always, I'm sending you much love, angel light, and tons of gratitude. You take care. Bye-bye.